Hey bros, what's going on? It's Nathan, and today I'm bringing you some TDM on the map Terrace. I get a really awesome KD ratio this game. I get something like 2 deaths. The very first death, you're about to actually see right off the rip. What happened is I was talking to my clanmates and I pressed the button Z on my keyboard so I could talk. And as you see, I very clearly just run right into this guy. I didn't even bother shooting or whatever because I was busy talking to my clanmates. I wasn't really, expecting to do really well, and one death didn't really bother me, but it's kind of funny because the topic of today's video is how to improve your KD, and if you want to improve your KD, I guess tip number 1 is pay attention to your games because, you can't be running into people and not even trying to kill them if you want to have a good KD ratio, but I figured we would talk a little bit about things and ways that you can improve your KD. I'm not a super crazy high KD player necessarily. I think I'm around a 2.2 KD in Advanced Warfare right now, and this was just one game that stood out, KD wise among all the other ones that I had recorded, so I figured I would show it to you guys today. But ways that you can improve your KD, in past CODs it was really all about streaks. It was, you play for your swarm in Black Ops 2. Ghosts not so much because the streaks were once again kind of meh, just like Advanced Warfare streaks are kind of meh, but principles actually still apply. You do want to play for your streaks to an extent, not to the extent that you camp and get very, very few kills, because what's the point in playing a game if you get like 2 deaths, right? But you only have like 15 or 16 kills because you didn't rush out and find many people, right? Your Warbird and Assault Drone are nice, but they're not going to do all the work for you. And I was worried that this bombing run wasn't going to get any kills, but fortunately it did. Either way, you're going to want to play for your streaks to an extent. What I mean to an extent is don't camp up super hard if you're like 300 or 400 points off of a 900 point score streak. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you run out, you're playing fairly aggressive, not super, you can play a little passive but not campy, if that makes any sense. Play smart, play safe, but don't camp up just for your streaks at the very start of a match. Who knows, you're probably going to get frustrated if you die and you have that mindset 24/7, so it makes sense just to rush around, have some fun, and once you get close, then start playing a little bit safe, a little bit more conservative, play it a little bit more smart. My second point when it comes to your score streaks is you're going to want to pick score streaks that you can actually comfortably get most games. It's not gonna make you feel good if you equip, Rockets, Extra Time, and Aggressor on a Warbird, which is like a 1,400 point kill streak or something, and you're not gonna be able to get it many games. Maybe you get it once, but then you go 15, 20 games without getting it again, and it's just gonna be very demotivating, and that's not what you want to do. You want to put on score streaks that you can comfortably get every time that actually do work. Now, what that actually is. Kind of depends on you. Now, that was actually my last death for the whole game, so, it's kind of bombing run after bombing run, and I usually just camp up to an extent when I'm flying my bombing runs over, because I have a really bad habit of running out and getting killed by my own bombing run, so I've just started playing a little bit more safe, just kind of waiting for my bombing run to be done when I call those things in. But what you equip on your score streaks, you want it to be easily attainable, something that you can comfortably get pretty much every single game. And you want the score streaks to be good. You want them to actually get kills for you, And, so just running UAV system hack is not going to necessarily give you a high KD. That's what you do when you want DNA bombs, right? Just 30 kills with your gun. You don't do that if you want a high KD. What you want to do is you want to inflate your kills as much as possible with lethal score streaks. So, what are the cheapest, most lethal score streaks you can set up? Well, the Warbird with Aggressor is a very good pick for 900 points. Your Assault Drone with AI Control and Rockets is another really good pick for 850 points. You could also, if you want to, take AI Control off of your Warbird and instead put on the AR HUD and manually fly your Warbird around. So if you can find like a really nice place to camp up, you could be manually flying your Warbird around while your body's in a safe place and not gonna get killed by anybody, right? Whereas if you call in an AI control or an AI control assault drone and you're running around at the same time, there's a better chance that you could get killed, you know? So, you know, think about it like that. But that's another good attachment to run on a lethal Scorchick. And the straight up bombing run, just a regular bombing run, gives you a pretty good return on investment. Oftentimes I find that the bombing runs get more kills than warbirds do, which is pretty insane. You know, it's like some of these maps you work really hard for your warbird, and you know, you don't get anything out of it, or you get maybe 1 or 2 kills, and you might have gotten 3 or 4 with just a bombing run for, I think it's like 750 points or something. So it's pretty cheap, and they have a pretty good return on investment, especially if you have a UAV equipped as well, and you can actually see where they are on the map, or it's domination. You can kind of see what flags they have, and you just have a general idea of where the enemy is. Now that brings me into my next point, which is learning the spawns. You know, you're not going to have a UAV up 24/7, and I actually pick up the ASM-1 Strider here. This gun just does work. I really want this gun. Unfortunately, it'd be like Grandmaster level 30 to get this gun, but you're going to want to have a general knowledge of spawns, where enemies are spawning, and you know, just information like that. You're not going to have a UAV up all the time. Some people are going to be running low profile. You're going to have to just know where the enemy is going to be, and you know, the general rule of thumb is the enemy is going to be spawning where your teammates aren't. Wherever your teammates aren't, that's where the enemy is. That's a really good rule of thumb. You just pay attention to your minimap, take a look. If you don't want fast hands, feel free to run peripherals so you have a little bit bigger of a map view if you actually rely on your map. And I'm actually on a 20 kill streak here. And I just got a 15 kill streak before I die, so I got a couple cool medals. I don't think I get the Vicious, but I'm going a pretty cool streak nonetheless. Anyway, you're going to want to have a general knowledge of the spawns. You can also examine this if you simulate it with bots. If you want to simulate a 6v6 TDM on a certain map or whatever, but flip on the setting in private match that says radar always on or constant or whatever the setting is. When you're killing the enemies, when you're killing the enemy bots, take a look at your map. See where the dots pop up after you kill them. Check out where they're spawning if you don't know the spawns already, and you know, I think it'll be very beneficial for you guys to actually learn the spawns. I spend a lot of time in private match either sharpening my aim up or learning, you know, spawns or practicing even throws for uplink. Like, I actually spend a considerable amount of time in private match, and, you know, people underestimate how much that can improve various aspects of your game. So, you know, definitely try to learn the spawns whatever way you can. Maybe you actually do learn it in a regular public match, but that's going to help you out a lot. And the other thing is, use a silenced weapon when you can. You're going to want to stay off of the radar pretty much as possible. That's using silenced weapons. That's using low profile. You're going to want to try to stay off of people's grid as much as possible. I'm going to recommend low profile on every single class and use a silencer where applicable. The Speakeasy is not the best gun to put a silencer on because it comes with a range decrease inherently, and increasing the range decrease by pulling on a silencer isn't a good idea, but you get the picture. Stay off the grid, learn the spawns, get more confident with your aiming, and actually run score streaks that you're comfortable with getting every time. If you guys enjoyed the 42-2 gameplay, go ahead and leave a like. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section down below, and subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. Nathan, out.